Boop, no, seriously. Let me start this the right way. I called my wife at 1 a.m. from a hotel room on a work trip because I missed her. My best friend answered her phone. Not hello, not wrong number. He said, calm as a therapist on a Tuesday. She's busy right now. She'll call you later. And in the background, I heard my wife laugh. Not the polite laugh she gave my jokes the past year. Not the I'm trying to be nice laugh. I heard the laugh I hadn't heard in months, the real one. My chest didn't tighten. It didn't explode. It just emptied. Like the last ounce of denial finally drained out of me. So I took a slow breath, stared at the ceiling of that generic hotel room, and said the only words that felt honest. Keep her. She's your problem now. Then I hung up. The silence on the other end was so perfect, I swear I could taste it. I'm not going to pretend I was some detective husband who always knew. I wasn't. I was the kind of clueless that should come with a warning label. My name is Eli Porter. I'm 35, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life set up in neat little boxes like the shipments I manage for a living. I worked as a logistics manager at a mid-sized distribution company, which is a fancy way of saying I spent my days making sure boxes went from point A to point B without the universe turning into chaos. My wife, Hannah, worked in PR. And when I say PR, I mean she could turn a brunch photo and a latte into a brand story. Her Instagram bio said, building brands one latte at a time. That should have been my first red flag. But I loved her. And love makes you explain away things that would look insane if you said them out loud. We had a small house in the suburbs, 2 cats, a mortgage, a routine. The cats were named Mr. Whiskers and Colonel Fuzz, both of them freeloaders with the emotional warmth of a tax audit. And we had Dylan, my best friend since college. Dylan was the guy who knew my Taco Bell order by heart. The guy who had a key to our house. The guy who could walk into our kitchen like he owned the place, grab a beer, and complain about life like we were still 22 and invincible. He was funny, helpful, always around, and apparently always around when I wasn't. Hannah started going out more. Networking, client events, book club. The book club part should have made me laugh. Hannah hadn't read a full book since 2014. She bought a Kindle once, used it twice. Then it became a coaster. But suddenly she was in a book club that met every Thursday night. Sometimes Saturdays too. And I didn't question it because I didn't want to be that husband, the suspicious one, the controlling one. I told myself, if I trust her, she'll trust me. That's how good marriages work, right? Meanwhile, Dylan was at our house 3 times a week for game night. Hannah would work late upstairs while Dylan and I played on the couch. Sometimes Hannah would come down, laugh at something Dylan said, and it hit me how different her laugh sounded around him. Lighter, warmer, like she was actually alive. And I chalked it up to, oh, Dylan is funny. I was doing Olympic-level mental gymnastics, and I didn't even know I'd signed up for the competition. Then came Chicago. My company sent me to a logistics conference, which is basically a hotel ballroom filled with people who get excited about spreadsheets and pallet stacking efficiency. 8 hours of PowerPoints that could have been emails, stale coffee, cardboard pastries. The hotel was beige in a way that felt personal, like the building itself was trying to suck joy out of you. My room was on the 14th floor with a view of a parking lot. The universe has jokes. They're just not funny. That night around midnight, I texted Hannah. Conference was boring. Miss you. She responded with a thumbs up emoji. A thumbs up. Like I was a coworker confirming a meeting time. I told myself she was busy. PR crisis, client drama, whatever. At 1 a.m. Sadawar and I was lying in bed staring at the ceiling, feeling that stupid wave of homesickness for my own life. So I called her. 1 ring, 2 rings. Then Dylan answered. My brain couldn't process it. I literally sat up like my body thought that would help. Hey man, Dylan said. She's busy right now. She'll call you later. I opened my mouth to speak, but then I heard it. Hannah's laugh in the background. Not muffled, not far away. Close. Like she was right next to him. In that moment, everything snapped into place. The late nights, the book club, the new perfume, the way Dylan always seemed to know what Hannah was up to, the way she started volunteering Dylan for little fixes around the house. Eli, you're busy. Dylan can handle it. Yeah, he handled it. I should have screamed. I should have demanded answers. I should have lost my mind. Instead, my whole body went calm. The kind of calm you feel when the decision is already made for you. That's why I said what I said. Keep her. She's your problem now. Then I hung up. My phone immediately lit up with calls. Dylan, Hannah, Dylan again, Hannah again. I turned the phone off. And here's the weird part. I slept, not toss and turn sleep, not I'm numb sleep. I slept like someone who finally put down a weight they'd been carrying for months. The next morning, I expected to wake up in pain. Instead, I woke up hungry, like my body was saying, okay, we're done pretending. Now eat something and move. At breakfast, an older lady working the buffet looked at my plate piled with bacon and eggs and asked, "Rough night, honey?" I almost laughed. "You could say that," I said. "But bacon helps." She patted my shoulder like she'd blessed me with ancient wisdom. Bacon makes everything better. I didn't have the heart to tell her bacon couldn't fix adultery. Back in my room, I turned my phone on. 37 missed calls and a text from Hannah. "Sorry, phone died, LOL." I stared at it. Phone died? At 1 a.m., while Dylan answered. And she said, LOL. Like the whole thing was a cute accident. That's when something cold and clean formed in my chest. Not anger. Clarity. I typed back, "No worries. Hope the funeral for your phone went well." Then I packed. But not like a man heading home to beg for explanations. I packed like a man heading home to close a chapter. When I got home, Hannah was at work. Perfect. I didn't smash anything. I didn't break down. I did what a logistics manager does best. I audited. I looked through our life like it was a shipment manifest. And suddenly every missing item made sense. Her planner was sitting on the desk, color-coded. Every Thursday, book club, except I cross-checked it with her Instagram. And on 3 of those Thursdays, she posted from places that definitely weren't book clubs. A bar, a backyard fire pit, a girls' night with Dylan tagged in the background reflection of a window. Then I found receipts. Dinner for 2 at a fancy Italian place. On nights I worked late, a hotel receipt. On a weekend she claimed she was at a PR conference. And then, the dumbest, most insulting part, a Victoria's Secret receipt. I hadn't seen new lingerie in months. So who did? I sat on the floor holding that receipt and laughed. Not because it was funny, because it was so ridiculously obvious. And I'd missed it. Then I checked the cat's Instagram account. Yes, Hannah made an Instagram account for our cats. And there it was, a post of Mr. Whisker sitting on Dylan's couch. Caption, visiting Uncle Dylan's bachelor pad. Uncle Dylan. The cats had visited Dylan, so Hannah wasn't even hiding it from the cats. Just from me. I took screenshots of everything. Planner, receipts, posts. And then I did something important. I cleaned it up. Not physically, mentally. I put it all back like I'd never touched it, because I wasn't going to confront her in the heat of it. I was going to do it on my terms. That evening, Hannah came home early. She walked in acting nervous but trying to smile. "Hey," she said. "How was Chicago?" I smiled back. "Boring. Same old." She visibly relaxed. "How was your week?" I asked casually. "Busy," she said too fast. "Book club last night." "What book?" I asked, like I cared. She froze for half a second. "It's a memoir," she said. "Really inspiring." "What's it about?" She blinked, then guessed. "A woman, traveling, finding herself." "Sounds great," I said. "You should tell me more sometime." She watched me for a long moment. I could tell she was trying to read my face, but I gave her nothing. Just calm. And that's what scared her. The next few days were a theater performance. Hannah started being overly sweet. Random kisses, pancakes on Sunday. She was acting like we were repairing something. But you can't repair a house while it's still on fire. Dylan texted me, "Hey man, you good? Haven't heard from you." I stared at that message and felt a strange kind of peace. I replied, "All good. Busy. Let him wonder. Let him sweat. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. When someone betrays you, they expect you to collapse. They expect tears, screaming, bargaining. They don't expect you to get quiet. Quiet is terrifying. Quiet means you're building something behind the scenes." Thursday morning, I got the call, not from Hannah, from Dylan. "Eli, we need to talk," he said, voice shaky. "What's up?" I asked like we were buddies. "Someone reported me," he said. "My clients are pulling out. My cabin paperwork is getting audited. I don't know what's happening. I almost smiled. Almost. I said, that's crazy, man. No idea. Silence. Then he whispered, why are you doing this? So he figured it out. Not because I confessed, because consequences have a smell, and he recognized it. I didn't answer. I just hung up. That night, Hannah came home looking wrecked, makeup smudged, hair messy. They're investigating me, she said, voice cracking. My job. They say I violated confidentiality rules. Someone made a report. I'm on leave. I raised my eyebrows. Wow, that's awful. She stared at me. Longer this time. What are the odds? She whispered. I sipped my beer. Yeah, I said. Crazy week. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Then she looked away, because she didn't want to believe the truth. That the man she underestimated wasn't screaming. He was recalculating. 2 weeks later, Dylan lost everything. Clients, deals, reputation. Hannah got fired. And that's when she finally broke. She showed up at home and collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. We made a mistake, she cried. One mistake. I looked at her. Months of lies isn't one mistake, I said quietly. She wiped her face and looked at me like I was a stranger. You've changed. I nodded. Yeah, I said, I did. She begged. Stop it, please, call it off. Dylan doesn't deserve this. I leaned back. Hannah, I didn't start the rules. I didn't create your contracts. I didn't force Dylan to be sloppy. I didn't make you cheat. She stared at me, shaking. So you're just going to destroy us? I said, calm as that hotel ceiling at 1 a.m. No, you destroyed you. I'm just not saving you anymore. A month later, Hannah showed up at my door. She looked like she'd lost the version of herself she used to sell online. No makeup, no perfect outfit, just desperation. I have nowhere else to go, she whispered. I didn't step aside. I didn't invite her in. I just stood there, holding the door like it was a boundary she didn't get to cross anymore. You feel abandoned? I asked. She nodded. Alone? She nodded again. I said softly, now you know how it feels to be replaced. Her face crumpled. How can you be so cruel? I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The Eli you knew was a doormat. That guy died in Chicago. In this Eli, I said, looking her dead in the eyes. This Eli finally respects himself. Then I closed the door. Not violently. Not dramatically. Just final. Spring came. Life didn't magically become perfect, but it became real. I went back to the gym. I cooked. I slept. I stopped living in a marriage built on performance. One day I saw Hannah in a coffee shop. She looked up. Hope flickered. Do you hate me? She asked. I thought about it. Then I shook my head. Hate takes effort, I said, and I'm done spending effort on you. I walked out into the rain, and for the first time in a long time, I felt clean.